Welcome, everybody, to the Six Rings Canes show. This is not the pregame show, but this is the postgame recap. FSU big win this past weekend, Saturday night, with a 52-10 demolishing of the Florida State Seminoles. I'm here joined live by Paul Austria, Danny Gillette, Vishnu Parasuraman. Did I say it right?
Not bad. Perth-Raman.
There we go, baby. And, of course, former Canes wide receiver, Mr. Lance Leggett, joining us today. We finally got some good connection, too, Lance. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? We're probably going to be joined fashionably late by Jakari Givens in a little while. But speaking of the there he is. What's up, Jock? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm on time.
Man, me and Jock went at it today on the chat. I loved it. That was awesome.
Yeah, we're going to bring some of those topics up tonight.
I'm sure we are, man. Hey, real quick, again, 52-10 was the final score. Miami put a thumping on the Florida State Seminoles. I'm sure we were all pretty excited about that. Offense looked good. The defense finally looked good as well against a poor Florida State team. I get it. I understand that they are a bad team. But listen, that's what you got to do to bad teams, right? It's expected. You got to come out and you got to put a whooping on them. So we're all excited about it.
Well, damn, Paul ain't wasting no time getting his little Eastern Conference final shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like her, man.
No, he's not going to waste
We're going to celebrate any win we get.
Show him, Paul. Show him.
Once I got the email from Dick's last night, I was ready to pre-order, and I was there at 10 a.m. this morning. I needed this. I am ready.
Congratulations to the Miami Heat.
Hey, Paul. Y'all gonna get y'all at a whoop, boy.
Listen. I'm torn because LeBron my favorite player and the Heat my favorite team. But old Goat James gotta get him one. Old Goat gotta have one more, you know.
Yeah, you already know LeBron's gonna win it, man.
I'm okay with Miami having one more over him. All right, it's Pat Riley against LeBron, baby. That's gonna be exciting. That's gonna be exciting to watch. That's gonna be fun to watch. It really is. So, congratulations to the Miami Heat. Also, Danny Gillette, what do you have to say about that, man?
Oh, I forgot.
No, I'm disappointed, but like I said, it's all you got. So I'm all right. I'll let you have your fun, but talk to me in a couple months. Talk to me when the Super Bowl again.
Hey, you throwing shade?
Hold up. You said the Patriots gonna win the Super Bowl again?
Yeah, I can see it.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Hey, it's a two-team race in the AFC, and they play in about 30 minutes.
Yep, ain't that the truth?
I mean, as long as Lamar shows up in the playoffs, then maybe, yeah, but we'll see.
LeBron shows up most of the time, man. I'm gonna say he does.
He said Lamar.
Lamar whatever, man. Whatever. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about that game this Saturday with again going back to the Canes and FSU. Vish, I want to start with Vish on this one though, because we haven't had you on in a couple shows now, man, and we missed your takes, your hot takes, man. What'd you think about the game on Saturday night?
I loved it. Kicked their ass. Like, what more do you want?
There's not much more to say, right?
That reminded me of when we played Clemson in the ACC championship game, and like 3 plays into the game, you knew it was over because you're like, these teams are not in the same league. At this time, we were on the good side of that. That was very enjoyable, and then. You know, when all FSU had left that they could do was just face mask on every play, that whole game was just a demolition. And I know we're going to get into this a lot more, but that team's got problems too. Like they definitely quit and just started taking cheap shots, and they didn't want to be there.
Quit.
But the fact that we made them quit, and this is a year after we beat them so bad they fired the coach the next day. I mean, this swung in our favor pretty quickly.
Yeah, we made sure the coach quarantined this time, so he couldn't go out there and lose the game for them either. But apparently, according to all of you, he ended up losing them the game anyways. But we'll get into that later on. Lance, talk to me about this game. Real quick, before you get into this game, what was it like when you faced Florida State in your heyday when you were playing for the Canes?
Man, like you already know that Florida State week, it shit be crazy. Everybody want to go. Like it could be a week when you playing another team, you're like, damn, I gotta go to practice Monday. I mean Tuesday. I'm sorry. Florida State week, you be like, man, I'm ready. So you know that Florida State week, man, that's a big week for everybody. And then we always call it that's a money game. So that's where you make your money at right there.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I think this time around for practice, I don't know if it was any different or not, but I know back when you were playing, they probably played the Seminole War chant during practice and all that to get into your head, right?
Oh, all practice. You hear that the whole practice, they're gonna play that.
Well, we didn't hear any of that on Saturday, that's for sure.
Oh no, man. That stuff up there, sorry, boy. I don't know what to say about that team up there. That team up there, sorry. What'd
you like? What'd you like that you saw out of the Miami Hurricanes on Saturday night?
Nah, real talk though, it ain't nothing what I didn't expect. I keep trying to tell people, like, with that quarterback we have, that's the new age quarterback. It ain't about the height. If you 6'5", you could be 5'10". It's about, can you move? Can you get away? So I feel like that's just the new age quarterback, and y'all gonna see that all year. There's nothing that it ain't new. From what I see, from when I watch football, I'm like, how the hell can you stop that? We already got the athletes. Now you got an athlete at quarterback, and he can run the ball. So he kind of built like a running back. He kind of built like a Tyreek Hill, honestly. a tweener, honestly, a tweener. Like he could throw, but he's still stocky. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So he can take a lot of hits, and that's like the new age quarterback to me.
I like that, which I need 33 points from Tyreek Hill tonight to win my fantasy team. So my fantasy league. So hopefully
it's gonna be tough sledding.
Thanks for bringing up Tyreek Hill. Listen, it's been a long time coming though. It's about time Miami has a quarterback like that.
I'll tell you this, Tyreek Hill about the fastest player I ever played against in my life, man.
It's a real deal, huh? Jock, what'd you think of the game? Talk to me, man.
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. After it got to 35-3, I stopped watching because I don't like watching games where teams quit. It bothers me. And it's a rivalry game, so I'm still like stuck. Like, why were you not up for this game? Like, it's Florida State, Miami. Should have been more competitive, but Miami's the better team. Obviously, Miami did what they were supposed to do. Came out, put their foot right on their neck, and never let up. And the defense just completely took over the game. After they ran their first 15 scripted plays, or I think that first drive, they got no more after that. Miami just locked in defensively. The defensive line was wreaking havoc. Bubba Bolden was all over the field. Fireson played a good game. I was just more impressed with the defense. I mean, the offense, we kind of gonna expect that all year, but the defense finally, buckled back down after not a poor performance last week, but they cleaned up a lot of things. I'm still kind of shaky on them in the run game because Florida State was able to pop a few runs, but other than that, Miami completely dominated that game. And I expect, with the 2 weeks to prepare going against Clemson, I would like to see Miami come out with some more wrinkles. But talk about that game. Miami did what they were supposed to do. We all kind of predicted they would be 3-0 going into Clemson, so it wasn't no surprise to me. I don't.
Yeah, over 500 yards of offense again, which was nice to see again. The running game, look, that was one thing that I wanted to see was a running game look better, not necessarily run, be better, because I think we've been running well. We've had first game over 300 yards rushing. The second game it was only about 167, I think 170. This game I think we surpassed 200 or got right at 200 yards rushing. So I like that. A strong, powerful running by Don Chaney on that 8-yard pickup. That was huge. He did a great job Saturday night. De'Aaron King actually led all rushers, right, with 65 yards rushing, and then Cam Harris always putting in work either way. So, and of course, throwing Robert Burns and Jalen Knighton did some good things, running and catching the ball.
Yeah, I forgot about one thing. We finally got to play from a receiver. Can't forget about that.
Oh man, come on! Don't get off my board now.
Well, listen, you know what? Before we get to everybody else, Lance, what do you think of the wide receiver play? Like we've all been talking about how the wide receivers need to step up, make better plays, and someone needs to kind of separate themselves as a guy that's going to come through and be a clutch wide receiver for this team. What did you think of the wide receivers in this game?
if I had to grade us right now, I'd probably give us a C, like a C minus. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like
That's
that.
good.
But that's room for improvement. You see what I'm saying? The thing is, you got to understand, like these boys haven't worked out with that man for how long they got to work out with each other.
Yeah, it's been tough with the pandemic, right?
That's not an excuse. You know what I'm saying? That's not an excuse. But over the season, I think you're gonna see it like picking up. Look at Wiggins. I like, boy, he showed some speed then.
Wiggins got some speed. I was not worried about they play. They got the talent. I'm just more so was like worried about them not showing any improvement from year 1 to year 2. They got a quarterback who can get the ball now.
I'm gonna tell you something about Miami. Made me so mad. In high school, my little stepson, he played at Indiana, right? University. Yeah. He one of the best wide receivers in the country. Came out of Plant, first team All-State. Don't you know Miami would not offer him?
How long ago was that?
I'm saying this to say that because right now, if he was on their team, he'll be the best wide receiver on Miami team right now. Like they just missing that one player, but we got that one player. It's Peyton. I'm telling you, when they give him a chance, I don't know what's going on with him right now. He was sick. He had COVID, I think. So
yeah, he did. So he was still recovering.
Yeah. He was still recovering. I keep saying it. I think Wiggins is gonna get off this year, but he the one. Like
Peyton. I think Peyton probably.
Yeah. And you know what? We got a good question here. This is something that we were talking about earlier today in the chat also. But before we get to, well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. Paul, and we'll go to you on this and talk to us about what you saw out of the game as well. What you liked, what you thought maybe we could improve on. But is Miami good, or are the teams that we have that we played subpar? Because we were talking about this earlier, right? Where we got a lot of national pundits and a lot of people at the beginning were saying, hey, look, this is a tough schedule coming in with Louisville being a really good team. Florida State is Florida State. It's a rivalry game. UAB is not a cupcake because they are a mid-major conference football team who won 9 games last year. So it's not. I'm not saying it wasn't a game we weren't gonna win, but now are people kind of changing the narrative and saying, well, hey, they're playing subpar football teams and that's why they're 3-0, or is Miami the real deal?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I would say that this year it's definitely Miami's that good. You can kind of see from these first 3 games that Miami's offense is definitely more prepared for these games, and not even just more prepared. Diaz brought this up too, where against UAB, they played a UAB defense that was different from what they saw on tape in UAB's first game, so they kind of had to adjust on the fly. That defense, and as well as FSU's defense, where they'd seen primarily a 4-man front, but then they switched to a 3-man front to kind of make sure King didn't take over with his legs, and they were able to adjust. King still made good throws. King still even got 65 rushing yards out of this, so he's still smart with it, and I think there's definitely a higher level of focus. I think there's no. It's kind of weird to say that FSU is probably the worst thing they played this season, but UAB's defense was definitely not a walkover. I think it was like a top 30 defense last season. Louisville's offense had a lot of playmakers on it. We all saw that. So I think that there's definitely a higher level. How do I put this? The stakes are higher. And Miami is definitely kind of seeing what they're fully capable of. I don't think they've played to their full potential yet. They all know that there's
that's
still
scary
improvement. Yeah,
that's
of course.
Scary.
Like even these past 2, 3, 4 years, even I felt like there's enough talent on this team to win at least 9 to 10 games a season, but it hasn't happened. But now they're kind of seeing we put in the work and we finally have a leader at quarterback that we can trust. I forgot who said that in the. I think it was I forgot who it was in the post-game press conference, but it was I think it was McLeod who said that we finally have a leader at quarterback that we needed these past few years.
Yeah, it was McLeod. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I kind of took it as maybe throwing shade to maybe even Jeremy Williams or the previous guys, but I feel that kind of shows how highly they hold King in regards to the kind of player he is. So I think that. At the end of the day, even if Miami is playing bad teams, they're winning. They're beating these teams. Like they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's kind of like you can't write off this loss just because it's FSU and they've kind of been playing crappy all year. They took care of business and they blew them out. And they, like it's kind of like if I was a coach, I always imagined this. Like if I know that my team is better than the other team, I wouldn't let my team get comfortable with that. I'm just gonna tell them like, hey, you guys are better. All you gotta do now is just prove it. Yeah. And I feel like that's what they've been doing these past 3 games. They've been, adjusting and they've been taking care of business. So it's really there's not more you can ask.
And it's not something you're used to with Miami. And sometimes they play down to their competition, or they struggle with lesser opponents. So it's nice to see kind of a change of pace where you see these guys come out and just dominate every team. And speaking of De'Aaron King, he is now Bovado's. The odds makers do have him now as the leader in the Heisman race. So Danny Gillette, talk to me about De'Aaron King's play, what you saw out of it. And of course, the rest of the team and what you liked and what you thought could be improved on.
I liked how the defense played and how quickly they got into the backfield. I think it was more that FSU's offensive line just wasn't there. But even still, I liked the penetration that they got and the fact that they were able to pressure Blackman into making some difficult throws and kind of making him scramble around in the pocket and taking away his read. And then as far as King goes, he had it all going for him. He had the passing game. He led the team in rushing, as you alluded to. And, one thing that I would say about that is I would be worried if he leads a team in rushing against Clemson, because a lot of those plays, he scrambled outside the pocket and ran out of bounds to make the big play, which was great. But if I'm a linebacker for Clemson or another good defense, I'm going to be licking my chops knowing that I have a free shot at King in a couple weeks. So I think maybe just have him run the ball a little less. I know that's part of his game, but it's something you got to watch.
You can't, but that's a part of football now. All the quarterbacks run like he's not running like design runs. He's running because the offensive player is broken down. Let me go pick up 5 to 10 yards. It's not like he's running design. Now, if he's running design runs, then yes, they have a chance to hit him. But anytime he's breaking out of the pocket, picking up 10 yards, 15 yards, or something like that, that's fine. That's not going to get him hurt because he's getting out of bounds or something like that. Now, if they're running design runs, that's different. But
man, listen, you can I feel like you can run design runs or it could be broken plays. That's how he played his game all his life. Let him play his game. Like, stop thinking the quarterback can't get hit. Shit, he played football too.
And I think
there's no way you're beating Clemson if you're like limiting the playbook trying to avoid De'Aaron King getting hit. You got to put everything out there. If you're gonna try and win that game, you got to go with everything.
You gotta understand, most of the quarterbacks hits come hard when they standing in the pocket and they take a hit without being
blindside
hit.
But
like when he running, he not a. If you look at him, he not a dip his shoulder. He not a lean forward. He always falling forward. So his hits don't really bother him like that. I'm big on. I've been saying this when I played. Stop, like Roscoe Parrish. Roscoe Parrish could have been a college quarterback right now in this system. Honestly, anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was a good high school quarterback in Miami High.
Was in this system, like how the offense is playing right now. Roscoe would easily be a Division I quarterback because he know how to run. Like, don't take it. Don't. That's how he played in Little League, high school. That's what he played. That's how he played.
QB run the hardest thing to stop in college football. Anyway, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say to Danny's point though, when it was 38-3, he didn't need to be taking hits at that point. We could have gotten him out of the game. Like there were some hits in the third quarter where it's just like, all right, at this point, you might want to just put Perry in at that point.
Here's what I like about it. Though. Like, all right, he's a running quarterback. Great. He's going to get out of the pocket a lot. There's only so much, and Jock, you could probably attest to this, right? There's only so long that a cornerback can cover his guy before the play breaks down, and he's going to find someone open when he's rolling out, when he's getting away from the rush. And he's still looking down the field. Even though he wants to run, De'Aaron King is still looking down the field to make a play, which is what is nice to see as well. And that's going to bring up opportunities for the wide receivers to make plays because the play's going to break down.
That's just, like I tell people, that's the evolution of football. Like, every quarterback now is mobile in the pocket, can get out, run the football. The best 3 quarterbacks in the league right now who people going with even Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers can get out of the pocket. He's mobile enough to get a first down. We all know how special Jackson is with the ball in his hand. Mahomes, Kyler Murray. Like you can't tell De'Aaron King to be a pocket passer because he's not that. That's not what he is. He's not no NFL pocket passing quarterback. Like De'Aaron King can't play quarterback in the NFL. But he's a good college quarterback. Open up your game plan, leave him there, and let him do what he's gonna do. But those broken plays, that's better than Miami taking a sack when they had Jarren Williams back there holding the ball for 30 seconds and let's just sit back there batting the ball. Nah, get out of there 5-10 yards. That's it.
Jock, you don't think he could be? And I'm not comparing him to Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson and guys like that, but he's got that skill set. You don't think he can be a quarterback at the next level?
No. Derrick King ain't gonna be no NFL quarterback.
Why not?
Man, listen, I'm gonna let you
because
say what you say.
Well, first off, Derrick King is making college throws. Like the NFL is different. Like Russell Wilson in college was like, well, goddamn, like he's making throws that you can't like really predict. Russell Wilson, like Kyler Murray, is a Heisman Trophy quarterback. Like, no, he's not. Derrick King is good enough to be a college quarterback, but NFL is different. The throws are way different. You talk about two guys who got rocket shot arms in Kyler and Russell Wilson. They had special skill sets. Derrick King is just a college quarterback. Like it's okay. There's not nothing wrong with it.
Nah, listen, we're talking about the Canes. We're not talking about the Dolphins or anybody else. So I'm fine with that. I do think that there's an opportunity for him to at least try at that position at the next level.
He could try.
And I saw him make some really nice throws. And the only guy that I'm kind of worried about is some of the drops that he made. It was Mike Harley. I mean, some of those balls that were put right on the money on that slant route or that post route that he ran up the middle, and that's a big time throw, the one that Derrick King made to him, and he dropped that ball right up the middle, and then he dropped the other one that was kind of like an out route that Mike Harley might have taken it the distance because he's got the speed. So I was a little concerned with that.
They have
still a lot of drops, right? Because I still think that Derrick King is making the throws. And sometimes some of these drops are concerning because you can drop those passes against a team like FSU right now or UAB or even Louisville, but Clemson's going to make you pay for that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's what you got to be careful with.
So I do think it's funny that we've all just acknowledged that FSU is trash, and we're like, man, you're not going to get away with this against a good team.
Yeah,
it is where we're at right now.
They just like I said, I harped on this all day. Me and Jazz debated about it. FSU has quit on their coach. After that thing this summer that he did, they quit on him. You're not gonna repair no relationship when you have a predominantly black team and you're gonna come out and lie about something like that in the state that the society was in right now as a black player, and your coach lying to you about that. What else? How do you feel as a player? Well, damn,
it's a slap in the face.
If he lied to me about that, he gonna lie to me about everything else. I can't trust him.
I feel you. I get that. I totally agree. They still suck though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Much. Yeah.
Look at Lance is like.
Like I also said, to go back to the question.
Listen. You heard all them excuses you just had, man. For the past couple years, you think they had them excuses for us?
but listen to this though, Lance. Miami was competitive in all those 7 losses they had. They wasn't.
They really were. They really were.
They weren't getting their ass kicked.
Even against Jameis Winston, that national championship team, they almost beat that team. They probably should have beat that team too.
They wasn't. I agree with you. Now, I was saying, to go back to the question about is Miami good or they subpar, I'm a proponent of this. Whoever on the goddamn schedule, you play them. It is not my jurisdiction to go out there and say, oh well, this team ain't good. It's my jurisdiction. Play who in front of them. Oh, I don't feel sorry for you. Oh, your quarterback hurt. I'm sorry. Oh, Trevor Lawrence got hurt. That's not our issue. That's not my problem.
Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, we got a chance to prove it now anyways, right? Because we got a tough road ahead. After Clemson, it doesn't get much easier. I mean, you still play Pitt, who's a strong team. Then you got to play Virginia Tech, and you got to play UNC.
I don't-
NC State always gives us a hard
I
time.
don't think Virginia Tech gonna finish the season, to be honest, though.
Really? See, I haven't been following them too much. Are they getting a lot? They have a lot of issues.
They had like
Can't
23
take nothing
missing
about.
players.
Damn.
Like
Yeah,
they was down to
they
Damn.
they
in fall
almost
camp. The rumor was that they were sharing masks, and that's a horrible idea.
and
But
those kids
idiot.
in Virginia are partying. Like you can't tell me like out of every team in the ACC, all the other teams passing COVID testing, and this one team missing 23 players.
Yeah, what the hell's going on there, man? Well, I'll tell you this much. This brings up my next question now, right? Governor DeSantis now has started to lift restrictions for the state of Florida as far as, people going out, going out to restaurants. Phase 3. Now you're not going to get fined for not wearing your mask in certain places. Now, of course, venues, restaurants, whatever, they can make their own kind of laws and say, hey, well, not laws, but their own regulations say, hey, you can't enter if you don't have your mask on, and so on and so forth. What is that going to do, though, for a place maybe like Hard Rock Stadium? And Vish, maybe you could shed some light on this also. Like, maybe anybody that's heard on this, like, are they going to now allow more fans to come out to the games? How is the testing going to get even stricter for the players? What's going to happen with all that? What do you guys think, Vish?
So I haven't heard anything on how the stadium's going to adjust to that because they kind of just set those first 2 home games aside, and then they know bye week at Clemson, and they didn't really talk about plans after that. But these players are already following their own rules and their own discipline. Like, they're not going by what is happening in the general public, because if you look at how many people are positive in Miami, we would have a lot more outbreaks. So I think this is going to be on Manny Diaz to manage these players and just make sure they're staying safe. Because even if you don't, even if you're asymptomatic, you test positive, you got to miss a couple of games. And then if you're in contact with other players, they start getting suspended, and you get it, and then they got to sit out too. And that's what happened to Virginia Tech. Because if they do that contact tracing and you're on the same huddle, you're playing together, it's just
you got a problem.
Yeah, a few guys are positive, and it's like, oh crap, we're all in the meeting together, and then everyone's got to sit out. So, I mean, they got to make that sacrifice. It's not fair just to put it on the players, but if they're not willing to, like, anyone could go outside, and even regardless of what the rules are, I mean, yeah, they could technically have fined you for not wearing a mask, but who was actually really doing that, right? I mean, so it was really a lot of.
I think they started like the first week they were really tough on it, and then you kind of saw that going away. Not many people complaining about getting fined or any of that anymore.
Yeah, but I think the interesting thing will be less so than Miami, because the season's going well. So these kids want to keep playing. Like, man, Florida State, you think those kids are not going to do crap? And I do wonder, as you get to the end of the season, some of these teams that are like 2-6, are their players just going to be like, I'm done?
Yeah,
like, I mean, this is an additional burden on all these kids.
Well,
the eligibility doesn't count this year.
And Manny Diaz,
if you start getting to the back half of the season, your team stinks.
Yeah.
You're like, I got to go through all this protocol to go out there and lose by 50. I ain't doing shit.
Well, you know what? Manny Diaz spoke about that today in his press conference when they asked him, look, hey, what do you think about what's going on in the next, how do you feel about your team? What's going on next? How do you feel about the next game and this, that, and the other? And he's like, well, we got to worry about, we're not worried about the actual football. Something to the effect of, well, we got to worry about what's going on the next 9.5 weeks with COVID, and making sure that everybody is, healthy. And I'm more worried about now them lifting restrictions than my team following protocols because of the outside world. So, I mean, I don't know.
I like I said, when he put the restrictions out, I was like, well, that kind of put Miami behind, because it's like you seen the immediate impact of him doing that right away. See the bars flooded. You see people going out,
crazy,
people been in the house. So it's kind of like it's sad, but it's true. It only takes one player, whether that player is a star player or just a walk-on. It only takes one player to just break it down. So
here's the thing, right? What if it's the Eric King? God forbid. Now
it's just up to the kids to. It's just up to the kids to stay home. So
sure. Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job so far. They're doing a great job, actually.
No.
Yeah.
It was easier when there was not no people though. Like it was easier when all these places are closed to not go anywhere. But now you talking about strip clubs open. I'm a college student. We 3-0. Blah blah. Oh, you play for Miami? Well, damn.
Right.
All right, this
You gotta celebrate.
Yeah, and these and let's just be honest. These 18 to 22-year-old kids. They're men. They want to go out and do men things. It's okay. You've been around a bunch of guys for what 3-4 weeks now. Testosterone is built up. It's just like at the NBA bubble. Them guys was praising God. Their wives was able to come. It's a lot of male.
And some of them were happy that they got eliminated quick too.
Yes.
Ask Danwell House.
So. It's common sense. Like it's the world you live in. These are not children. These are 18 to 20-year-old kids.
They're college kids.
And I can attest to you. After camp, like when we was in college, after camp, I could not wait, bro. You got like, damn, boy, I'm ready to go out. Like you ready to see the new college world. So
yeah,
Miami,
I lived off campus. I lived off campus with four guys. It was 4 of us in a 2-bedroom, baseball players. All 4. You know how I was I didn't last in college a year and a half. I was out of there. All right. So I get it. I get it. Well, it's kind of hard to segue from that into something football related again. But I did want to talk a little bit of recruiting. We don't talk enough about recruiting right now because it's hard for players to get out to the games, for coaches to do recruiting, and Coach Manny Diaz did mention that he's doing a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of stuff over the phone with a lot of players. But we're hearing a lot lately from Terrence Lewis, who's I believe he's a linebacker over at Northwestern, right? The 4 or 5-star linebacker out of Northwestern that's committed to Tennessee. But we're hearing a lot, and even Andrew Ivins is out there talking, and a lot of people are now hashtagging T to the U or something like that, something along those lines. T-Lou to the U. So apparently there's a lot of hype building up with Terrence Lewis looking at Miami a little bit harder now, and of course a lot of other guys that maybe we're looking at. Schools like FSU or some other schools that are struggling right now. Also,
winning
Miami.
Winning cures all.
Winning is great. So, Paul, I want to take this to you with Terrence Lewis. What are you hearing about the linebacker out of Northwestern?
So Terrence Lewis is ranked as the top linebacker.
This guy's got a Marlins hat on too, by the way. You got a Marlins hat on too?
I gotta rep everything.
Look at you, man.
So,
all right.
Okay, so let's backtrack. Right. So Terrence Lewis played at Miami Northwestern last season. He's the number 1 linebacker in the country according to 24/7 Sports. He committed to Tennessee, I think, sometime in the spring. But from what I've heard, locker room issues. He transferred to Chaminade for the spring. Didn't last that long, and then there was this whole thing with I guess I don't know if they kicked him off because I think Chaminade tweeted that the championship lifestyle or something like that isn't for everyone. Good luck to the number 1 linebacker in the country. Like you knew they were subtweeting him, but you know who exactly they were talking about. So found his way. I think he transferred back to Northwestern this summer, and now he's at Central. It sounds like Miami's been in contact with his dad. They're gonna try to get in his ear again, see what his interest is. He's been very anti-Miami in the past, but like Jock mentioned,
I'm not a big fan of players and I know that's the norm now. High school kids transferring from school to school to school to school to school, and I'm just not a huge fan of that. I just think it shows, it shows a lack of discipline maybe on the players' part. No. Hear me out. Hold on a second, Jock. Now it could be family related, or it could be something different. It could be a coach or a player. But at one point, and hear me out, Jock, listen to this. At one point, when you're transferring from school to school to school, and a coach or other players have issues with you at every single school, it comes to a point where you need to look at yourself in the mirror. It's the same thing as a divorce. If you get a divorce 3 times, my brother, you better start looking in the mirror because maybe it's not the woman. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. Like, look at yourself in the mirror, evaluate yourself, and see what you're doing wrong to do this,
When
right?
you put it in that instance, yes. But for kids transferring schools, I disagree because you have to go to the best situation for you. Those coaches who coaching you, they already established. They're gonna be at their high school for however long they may choose. But what about you? If you see a coach ain't got your best interest, you need to get away from him and go to
Absolutely.
somewhere where they're gonna give you the best interest.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
just like in college. If you first of all, you need to go where they want you. But secondly, if you get to a school and you see and this is a problem. These kids' problem is now that they going to these schools, they're better than the kids who are starting in front of them, and they're not sticking around for that.
Right.
So
why'd you transfer? Why'd you transfer to that school where you maybe you were promised something that now is not coming to fruition? I'm assuming, right?
And that's the problem. See, high school coaches care too much about winning. They don't care about the players. They care about winning. So they're gonna tell whatever the kid want to hear.
Yeah.
So it can put them in their best position to win. That's why those kids from Dade County are not coached as well as the other kids because of what I just said. They all about winning. They rather win five state titles than have 35 kids go to college.
Yeah.
Those
Lance,
state titles,
you don't think Miami like that?
every college like that though. I'm not saying that. Every college is like that. Correct. Every college is like that. I agree 100%.
Yeah, you just gotta show out.
Miami has one guy.
No.
No.
Listen, it ain't about showing out, John. Because I done been, I was on a team where I seen a lot of players who were way better than the starters. That was like, oh, they not play. And I'm sure Lance can attest to this too, bro. You done been on that team where you be like, why is this guy not playing in practice? Like he going ape shit in practice. And every coach even like, we had our DB coach was like, why this receiver not playing? So it happens everywhere, but I'm just saying you have to go where they have your best interest, where they care about you the most.
So let me ask you guys this: talking about Miami, a good example to me was because I thought the kid was uber talented, right? A guy like Lorenzo Lingard, was that the case with Lorenzo Lingard, and why did he transfer to UF, or is that a different story?
No, we heard plenty of stories about what happened with Lingard.
So
he wasn't studying the playbook.
Lingard to me just was a kid who was highly touted. He got to college and seeing that everybody is just as good as you there at running back at Miami. This is a prestigious program. This ain't no goddamn D1 AA. Like when you going to Ohio State's, Alabama's, LSU, Miami's, you gonna have some guys there. You're gonna be like, that guy can play. Like, okay, that's what happened. And he got there, and that's what he's seeing. He transferred to UF, and he's saying the same thing.
Yeah,
those guys there can play.
For what I've seen, I kind of heard that he wasn't really studying the playbook as well as guys like Cam Harris. And thing is, this is all like hearsay too as well. And at UF too, I think he's like second or third on the depth chart too. So it's not. He's super talented. I've seen the tape,
so my problem with that is anytime a kid transfers, they go like, "Oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that," and they want to blame the kid. These kids got to look out for themselves because the coaches don't give a crap. I don't care what school it's at. They're just trying to. They're getting paid millions of dollars, and these kids got to look out for themselves. And I'm always uncomfortable when after the player leaves, all of a sudden all these rumors come out trashing them. Like, to me, that's crap, man. Even if that's true, you got to keep that in house.
And on top of that,
I don't like that at all.
Manny Diaz did that with Christian, with the corner that transfer. You can't ever throw a kid under the bus like that. Oh, he wasn't competing hard enough.
Go back. Listen, y'all got to go back. Y'all talking about when the kids get in college. Look at them when they played high school football. Look at Lingard. I watched him because he ran track because he's a hurdler, so I like to watch him.
He's a good.
Look listen, man. Y'all overlooking it. Look what kind of system he was in. He was in like a fullback almost, close to the line, so he getting quick hits. See what I'm saying? So you couldn't really see what kind of running back he was. See what I'm saying? He honestly would fit better in the Georgia Tech or that little weed.
Triple option.
That's what kind of offense he was in.
He went to Bulls. He went to Bulls.
No, he went to was it university?
Yeah, somewhere with Orange City.
Yeah, like Orange County or something.
Yeah. By Orlando, but that's the kind of offense he was in. So you expect this man now? I'm talking about he was in 3-point stance. You see what I'm saying? Go look at the highlights.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So he really didn't. You really couldn't see him. You couldn't tell what.
And then he a track dude, so obviously him hitting the hole in high school.
He just hitting the hole. He getting them quick. Hitting the hole. He gone. Yeah. Listen. Lakeland High School do it so much. If y'all watch Lakeland High School play, when they get in the red zone, guess what they do? They use the fullback. A lot of people don't know how to. They don't know how to defend versus the fullback no more. So that's what he kind of did in high school. He was kind of like a fullback, them quick hits. So you couldn't really tell what kind of running back he was. So he was kind of stiff a little bit too.
And he's like I said, he got to Miami. He seen that he wasn't that, like it's not peaches and cream. These guys better than him, and that's all that happened.
I saw that in high school, but I saw that in high school because
correct because. Lance, you can attest to this too, bro. Some of the times they had recruits coming out there, you be like, bro, he's not good. I don't even know how he got offered a scholarship. Like,
you see that a lot.
So, but I agree with Vince too. Those cops, they should look out for themselves. But Matty Diaz, he made that mistake with the Christian Wood. You can never come out and say, "Oh, he wasn't competing hard enough."
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell there was something going on there with him and Christian Wood. Yeah, for sure.
You can't say that. You recruited me, so now all of a sudden I'm like I ain't panning out as much as you wanted me to. Now, I wasn't competing hard enough. No, if you're not looking to play me, I can transfer down to another D1 AA or wherever you may want to go. Go play that and go to the NFL. It happens all the time. These kids transfer down or transfer to another school, better system for your talent, and you go to the next level. That every college football player, I don't care what they say. You ain't going to you're not going to college for no damn degree. You're going to college to try to get to the NFL. Like, that's why recruiting is a big thing. It's not about the best education. You playing football to get to the NFL. And if any college football player tell me they not, you lying, bro. Don't sit there and do it for the media. It's the truth. I'm not gonna
go. But hey, boy, there's a couple of them in the listen. There's a couple of them in the locker room too. Like
it's a couple of them in the locker room where they
man, why you playing football?
No. Once you get to the realization, like, well, maybe I might not make it. But Lance, when you first got to college, and just like as a freshman, you're not thinking about no school. I'm thinking about how many snaps I'm getting. I'm trying to get the NFL. I'm not.
Cash, bro.
I wasn't thinking about getting to the NFL. I was just thinking about striking out the next guy, and so I couldn't make it to the NFL in baseball, but. I was trying to get to Major League Baseball, but
and listen,
look where we are now.
As a podcast, as a reporter, as a businessman, you should always be trying to get to the top of wherever the food.
Absolutely.
So these kids, when you commit to these schools, go to the school that's gonna get you in the best opportunity to get to where you're trying to go. Like you're an NFL player and you feel that way, go to the school that's gonna help you. Like a lot of people.
But would you agree though? Would you agree? You got to go to where you have the best opportunity to be successful, but you got to work hard and bust your ass too, because you can't have one without the other.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times you get a lot of players that are entitled and feel like, oh, I'm a 5-star. I should just come in and I get everything handed to me on a silver platter, and that's what happens to a lot of these players, even the ones that maybe aren't that good, but think they are because they're highly rated. That's what happens to them. They fizzle out because they're entitled and they think, well, I'm going to get all this handed to me, and that's it.
That's a reality check they get right on their first practice when they realize, hey, everyone can play at this level. But the problem I have is the coaches are getting paid millions of dollars. Like they're going to see this. These are 18 to 22-year-olds. Not all of them are mature. If this kid's got to transfer somewhere else because it didn't work out, even if it's the kid's fault, you don't got to go out in public and say, and just say, look, we wish him well and move on. Like, let the kid do what he's got to do. Especially our school. How many transfers are we taking? Like, how can we, like, come on, a quarterback, man. We're all over the portal, and then one kid transfers out. We got to talk some crap about him.
Manny Diaz usually doesn't do that, so I think he just had,
But you get that reality check the moment you get your scholarship offer and you get to your first conditioning day. Like
things change, man. Things change. Yep.
All that nice guy. Oh, we want you. It's cool and all, but after that, once you get on that campus, this is a business, and they're gonna put the best player in the position for the business.
Absolutely, man. Hey,
it's even worse when they get to that next level. They get to the NFL campus, even worse. It's just more competitive the more you go up. So you gotta learn.
Hey, before we head on out, I wanted to give the floor to Lance a little bit to talk about LeggettSpeed.com because we're about to sign off in about a minute. So talk to him about Leggett Speed, Lance.
Oh yeah, man, you already know. We got Leggett Speed. You go to LeggettSpeed.com. Man, it's a course that'll help your kid, any athlete, girl or boy. It could be from 6 to the pros. It's a course that'll help them, an online course that'll help them be able to run faster and teach them the right technique. I know this is a proven recipe that my dad always had, and it worked for me. And just go out and buy it, man. It's only $19.97. If you can't afford $19.97, something wrong. And hey, why not? Hey, why not help somebody? Honestly, why not help another kid, man? You gonna just give it to him. If he do it, he do it. If he don't, he don't. You can at least say you helped him. So,
I mean, and you're not getting this from a guy who doesn't know how to run. I mean, we're talking about Lance Leggett who could run like a gazelle, and obviously he showed it in his times here at the University of Miami. So thanks a lot, Lance. I appreciate that. Thank you all for coming on tonight. I think we're gonna do a little bit of an ACC/college football wrap-up show on Sunday since the Canes have off this week. So we won't do any obviously any preview game, but we will do something with Manny Chang. By the way, thank you to our producer Manny Chang. Unfortunately, he wears the orange and blue, but that's all right. We still love him anyways. Big ups to him. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Vish, Jakari, Lance. Always a pleasure, my man. Danny Gillette, you're the man. I appreciate it.
Eat my peanuts, man. You see me eat my peanuts.
That's a good way to sign off. Hey, eating peanuts, Lance Leggett. Look at him.
Look at my boy peanuts. Hey, listen, y'all. Just remember, I showed you these boiled peanuts. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for the boiled peanuts. Appreciate it. You can follow us at 5 Reasons Canes. This is the
follow me at King Jock 24.
King Jock, go ahead. Everybody shout out. Go ahead. Everybody shout out. Paul, where you at?
Paul Austria _. You already know the deal.
Vish, where?
Hey, Lance. I'm gonna get with you to buy one of your programs to give to a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, no, do that, bro. Do that, man. Honestly, dog, it'll really help, bro.
Are you selling those peanuts too? You selling peanuts? Boiled peanuts?
You see these peanuts, man. I ain't on you see these boiled peanuts. I ain't saying it. Just look at them, man. Just look at them.
John, why you do this, man? Vish, where can they find you on social media, man? Talk to him. Oh, he's on mute. Vish is on mute over there.
Shit. VRP 2003.
VRP 2003. Jock, King Jock, right? What is it?
King Jock 24.
King Jock 24. Danny Gillette, talk to him.
At D Gillette 95, I write a little bit of everything, so be on the lookout.
There we go, baby. At Jazz Santana, but most importantly, at 5 Reasons Canes. This has been the 6th ring, and we'll see you guys this weekend.